What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today, for the first time in a while, we're going to be doing an experiment. We're going to be combining Manchester United with Manchester City fusion, and we'll see what happens. Trust me, the results were very interesting, I will say so. But if you do enjoy the videos on this channel, please do leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. But let's see how this combined Manchester does in 5 years. So, essentially what we've done here is we have taken all of Manchester City's players and put them with the Manchester United team. We've also gone ahead and gone the extra mile. Add a bit of detail. We have got Pep Guardiola and Erik ten Hag in as assistant managers. As you can see right now, Pep Guardiola, obviously previously of Manchester City, we should all know that by now, absolutely incredible manager, and obviously current boss ten Hag, but it wasn't fair to keep him as the main manager, hence why we've gone as one of the clubs. So I'm still the manager, these two are assistants, not bad assistants to have, is it? I mean, two of the best managers currently in the Premier League, two fantastic, great people at the end of the day, and I think this is going to be a very, very good test because it's just a fun experiment. And what we're going to do now is we're going to filter the best 11 compared, or pretty much chosen by the game, and I'm quite interested to see, is it going to be Man City dominated? Is it going to be United dominated? It's going to be, oh dearie me, as a United fan, this is painful. Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Silva, and Erling Haaland, and all of the Manchester United players go on the bench. A little bit surprised. I was expecting to see possibly Bruno in there, possibly Rashford, maybe even one of the fullbacks. I mean, if you look at Cancelo, Luke Shaw possibly, but it's completely Man City dominated, and for this reason, we have gone over and made sure we've done some key tweaks, which is going to be, if we go over to the staff, the responsibilities, so for example, we are going to tweak these as we go, but for example, in tactics, Pep Guardiola is going to be in charge, and we are going to tweak this between him and Ten Hag each season, just to see exactly the outcome. We've also, basically everything has been adjusted to one of the managers, Ten Hag for the match day. I'm just giving everyone a real sort of feeling at the club. They can both get involved and see what they can achieve. In terms of the squad, I've gone purposely and extended every single contract possibly, because at the end of the day, we want players here, and the key part of this challenge is going to be a couple things. So, a couple of rules we've got to clear up right now. We cannot sign players. I have added a transfer ban, so no players are going to be coming, but we are allowed to sell players, and trust me, it gets tasty as we go through the seasons, because we're going to see what players survive, what players don't, and see who finishes at this club after 5 seasons. So let's get into the first season of results, see how Manchester done, and hopefully we can see some positives. So then, season 1 of Manchester. It sounds really weird combining them, but it's a very fun idea. As you can see, we've been able to win the Premier League by 2 points. We've also won the Europa League against Lazio and the Carabao Cup against Tottenham. So, a fantastic season. 92 goals scored, only 15 goals conceded across the board. And in terms of the actual squad, we are going to go and have a little look. Obviously, this is not based around a tactic test, so we're not going to be as focused on the data hub side of things today. It's going to be Erling Haaland with 60 goals and 11 assists. I mean, a flawless season from Erling Haaland, when isn't it at the end of the day? Phil Foden, 11 goals and 11 assists. Kevin De Bruyne, 11 goals and 15 assists. Finally, a Manchester United player getting involved with some of the match ratings and the goals. 10 goals and 15 assists for Marcus Rashford. Bernardo Silva, 9 goals, 22 assists. Julian Alvarez with 9 goals and 5 assists. And then it's going to be Diallo actually out on loan, so we're not going to pay attention. Rodri with 6 goals. Kyle Walker with 6 goals. I am noticing something very worrying. There's not a lot of Manchester United players getting game time. I mean, wow. Wow. We've got the likes of Lisandro Martinez actually hardly touching grass, if at all. A lot of players not playing. It's an interesting one. I would like to say I did register a perfect balance. So, 1 United keeper, 1 City keeper, fullback, centre-back, so on. And they've favoured the Man City team, and it's painful for a United fan to see this, but maybe that is the harsh reality of what this experiment is going to be. In terms of the schedule, this is going to be the fun part, because we can actually go and see what teams got played in some of the key fixtures. So the Europa League final, a 3-0 win over Lazio. It's going to be a start on 11, consisting of Ederson, Kyle Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, Gundogan, Casemiro, Mahrez, Rashford, and Erling Haaland, I believe, who actually went off. So it's going to be Rashford scoring, Diaz scoring, and Alvarez getting the goals. We are going to watch a couple of the highlights from the games. Obviously, we can't watch all of them because there are going to be a lot of finals, hopefully, with this Manchester side. going to switch this to the TV perspective so we can watch it. And it is going to be Marcus Rashford, who obviously opens up the scoring quite early on with a great finish. And it is really interesting to see, obviously, a lot of Manchester City players dominating this team. But it's good to see Marcus, you know, in that front three. It is going to be the 4-3-3 we roll out with this system. Not picked by me, by the way. That is down to the coaches, down to the assistants. A fusion of Ten Hag and Pep Guardiola coming together, as it is going to be 2-0 so far. The last goal coming in, a great touch from Alvarez, a beautiful drive and a beautiful finish to tie up the fixture. 3-0, a sensational game by a sensational team. And we're going to go again right now and have a little look. So let's go into another, Carabao Cup final against Tottenham. This will be interesting. It's going to be David De Gea, Kyle Walker, Varane, Diaz, Cancelo, Rodri, Casemiro, De Bruyne, Silva, Phil Foden and Erling Haaland, again playing in this 4-3-3 system. So that's always, it's good to see that, you know, we're not faffing about with formations. We're sticking, we're being consistent, which is obviously what we want to be seeing, as we actually do get the first goal inside of what is going to be. I thought it was going to be extra time for a second, but no. We get the first goal here as Cancelo plays it over the top into a very dodgy bit of goalkeeping, by the way, from, I believe that's going to be Hugo Lloris, obviously well known for being a bit dodgy in net. Basuma again, obviously coming down the right-hand side, one back from Cancelo, who sort of drives and... Right. Leave a like on the video, because I have never seen anything like this in my life. This is what we deliver on this channel. What is that goal I have just conceded? Thank God we won the game, as Erling Haaland obviously tucks away a pen in the 116th minute. But can somebody explain to me what has happened right here? What has happened? Cancelo strategically just, our leg hurts, and he's down. Richarlison, a gifted goal, an absolute joke of a goal, but luckily we did win it nevertheless, and it ends up being a really good season. Obviously, predominantly, I'm going to be real, it's basically playing with Man City. Hardly any United players featured, but let's get into the second season and hopefully a bit more of an impact. So we are going to talk about season 2, but firstly, we're going to go over some of the players that are going to be departing, and that is going to be Bruno Fernandes to PSG for £78 million. Now, one of the rules were, or a couple of the rules, we're not allowed to sign players because we had a ridiculous size squad anyway, and we're not allowed to permanently restrict players either. So players can go, the strongest do survive, and it is going to be Bruno Fernandes being the first big name to obviously leave. As you can see, Donny van de Beek on a loan fee of 1.8 million as well. Eric Bailly goes to Marseille for £8.5 million, and Riyad Mahrez, a player who I actually quite like, obviously is getting on though, 33 years of age, does go to RB Leipzig for £30.5 million. In terms of the actual season, I'm going to be real, it was actually quite positive. Let's get the league table up right here. So you can see now, league champions again by 4 points, not dominant, but got the job done. We also won the Super Cup against PSG, the Carabao Cup and the Community Shield. Unfortunately, losing the Champions League to Arsenal. Obviously, quite interesting English final. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough firepower to get over the edge. Was it because we lost Bruno Fernandes? Who knows? Probably not. But overall, a sensational season. Obviously, it's going to be 4 trophies coming back to Manchester, which is all, it's what we're here for. It's what we're here for. In terms of the goals, it's going to be what you're expecting. Erling Haaland was 61. Marcus Rashford second in this whole thing, which is really good, because I finally was seeing some United players now. Then it's going to be a City influx. 11 goals for Alvarez, 8 for De Bruyne, Foden with 6, 5 for Cancelo. I almost feel like we're missing, I feel like we should be scoring more goals. The amount of firepower we've got in this team is ridiculous. In terms of the assists, we've got 21 for Eriksen, Rashford with 15, 12 for Bernardo Silva, 12 for De Bruyne, 11 for Haaland, Phil Foden with 10, Kyle Walker with 10, 5 for Casemiro. I mean, we are seeing a lot of different people get on the ball and obviously picking up assists, but I expect more goals. I'm going to be real. When you've got a team with the likes of Haaland, Rashford, De Bruyne especially, feeding these players through, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, you've got some top talent. Where are the goals? We can't rely solely on Erling Haaland. I know we'll do it, but you have got to help the man out, for God's sake. Come on. And in terms of the schedule, we are going to have a very quick look. The Champions League final, I'm not going to watch the highlights because I don't want to cry again. But as you can see, it was a game which we lost 2-1, unfortunately, actually going 2-0 down. So at least we didn't bottle it. That's the one positive, I guess. But it's going to be Edison Dallo, Ruben Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Marcus Rashford, and Erling Haaland, who starts the game. And unfortunately, they're the team that lost it. So not ideal. Going over, though, however, to the Carabao Cup final, obviously one of the trophies we were very successful in, against Leicester. It is going to be, we've got to watch it because the goals are in dramatic times. De Gea, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Dalot, Rodri, Casemiro, Gundogan, Silva, Rashford and Erling Haaland. Good to see Dalot getting quite a bit of game time. As a United fan, there is going to be a little bit of bias, so let's just clear that up very quickly. But it is nice to see. Obviously, it'd be a bit boring if it was 100% Man City players. Same as if it'd be very boring if it was all United players. But the first goal comes in extra time. A great ball over the top into Erling Haaland. And I'm not being funny, but if there's one player you don't want through one-on-one, it's probably got to be this guy because he is absolutely ruthless. We go again here, though, very late on into the second half of added time. Bernardo Silva into Julian Alvarez, who takes a touch, drives, and into the bottom left-hand corner. Great play going forwards. And do you know what? Harsh on Leicester because they obviously had a great time getting to the final, but just not enough firepower. You can see, are there any other really big games that stand out here? What team did we play against Barcelona out of interest? Ederson, Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz, Kyle Walker, an entire Manchester City back line. In fact, it's an entire Man City team apart from Marcus Rashford, which isn't great to see. But it is going to be interesting to see what players move on in the third season, because at the end of the day, we can't physically keep them here 100% of the time. We did beat Bayern Munich, though, which is quite impressive. With Ederson, Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz, Dalot, Rodri, De Bruyne, Eriksen, Grealish, Haaland. Okay, Eriksen getting in there. Go on. Christian Eriksen against Bayern Munich. We love to see it. We do love to see it. And overall, just a really good season. I mean, ideally, the Champions League would have come back with us as well, but it is what it is. It's still 4 trophies, and I'm actually really excited to now go in to the third season and see exactly what we can offer going into it. But before we do go into the third season, if you are enjoying today's video, please do leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I want to quickly thank all of the names floating down the screen right now. These are people that are new or existing members of the Patreon. Patreon's a great way to support me as a creator. Starting at £2 a month, you get early access to tactics. You unlock access, to all 3 variants of the tactics as well. Makes your life easier as well. So if you are interested, you can click the link in the description. But let's carry on into season number 3. Season 3 means more drama. We love drama on this channel. Season 3's transfers have come in, and there's a few players which we're going to talk about. So, Shortier actually goes to PSG on the free. Didn't mean to rhyme, but it sounded pretty cool, so we'll take it. It is also going to be a Kanji who goes to Inter Milan for £47 million. Quite a significant figure. Also for quite an aging centre-back as well at 29. Fairly average, decent, but average. Not a big loss in my opinion, not going to affect us massively. And obviously Charlie McNeil obviously goes to Britain for £1.3 million. So not the worst players to lose in my opinion. We'll see. How did we do? We done okay. We done okay. This is really annoying when this resets. Very annoying. Go back to the league table. There we go. So we did win the Premier League. We also won the Community Shield, but we are moving like Tottenham Hotspur. We're playing like Tottenham. We're bottling everything. The Champions League final runners-up against Liverpool, a team which I can't stand to lose against. So that is very frustrating. Poor displays in the cups as well. FA Cup and Carabao Cup, nothing going for us at all. Shocking in the English trophies, absolutely shocking. Champions League, a very good display, but not enough. We need to be winning these finals, not just getting to them. In terms of the squad, we are going to have a very quick look by the most goals first. Erling Haaland with 54, 16 for Rashford, De Bruyne with 8, 7 for Silva, Grealish with 7, 7 for, did I say Bernardo Silva? Believe I did. Alvarez coming in with 7, Phil Foden with 6, 4 for Diaz. With the assisters, it's going to be dominated by Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, Erling Haaland with 9, Eriksen with 9, getting a little bit involved here to be fair to him. 8 for De Bruyne, 7 for Luke Shaw, very impressive, and 7 for Marcus Rashford. So I'm noticing a pattern. A pattern which I'm not a big fan of. Has there ever been a Manchester United player top of the tally? I don't feel there has. Haaland dominates the goals, and usually it's one of the Manchester City, sort of any player. Manchester City midfielders typically, though, getting the most assists coming in. And it is really frustrating, but this is why I wanted to do this test, because we get to see what does happen, combining 2 of the best teams in English football. Let's put the bias aside, guys. Manchester City and Manchester United are 2 of the most elite sides in the world. Maybe not at the same time. Obviously, Man City are doing a little bit better at the moment, let's just say that. But Manchester United are still a very, very big team, and I feel like it's delusional to say that they're not. But overall, this Man City side of the team is really carrying the weight, and it's getting really frustrating. So I'm hoping to see some changes in the last couple of seasons, let's just say that. But going over to the schedule, oh, it's painful. It's a penalty shootout final, which we lose in. And do you know what? it would have been amazing, because it's going to be Luke Shaw in the 119th minute that does actually get back things on track to push for that penalty shootout. What an absolute heartbreak, as it is going to be Ederson, Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz, Dalot, Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Rashford, Haaland, and Phil Foden play in the final and lose it. That is absolutely gutting, to get all the way to the penalties and lose. Absolute heartbreak, it really is. It's utter disappointment. Who do we play against PSG? Because that's quite a tough game. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes, did he start? He did. Absolute scumbag who just... Why does he have to leave so early on? Ederson, Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz, Dalot, Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Rashford, Haaland, and Foden. A very, very similar sort of team. As you can see, Kylian Mbappe scoring 2 in the first half. Diego Dalot does actually lead the game inside of 2 minutes, though. And Marcus Rashford did equalise with a penalty in the 104th minute. So, a fair bit of drama in that leg. What else happened this season? And any real key sort of... Anything major? Anything major at all? The Community Shield. Community Shield, I mean... We can't even click on that game, but it is going to be Kevin De Bruyne who won it in the 89th minute. I'm going to be real with you. I always tell the truth on this channel. I'm not happy with this 3rd season. I don't think I can be happy. The players we've got, we should be achieving minimum of 3 trophies a season, and ideally a Champions League as well. So let's go over to the 4th season right now, and hopefully we see significant improvement. So season 4, I'm going to be real. This is going to make the experiment 10 times as interesting now, because we have said goodbye to Erling Haaland, who joins Bruno Fernandes over in France with PSG for £120 million. And he is a massive loss. I mean, the guy is absolutely flawless, the best striker in the game, absolutely incredible, and a player who we significantly don't have anyone who can match his standard. We're going to have to rely on Marcus Rashford, who can play up top, but then we're going to lose out on a wide player who is playing quite well. Phil Foden can play there, but he's no Erling Haaland. Anthony Martial is no Erling Haaland. I love the guy, but he's no Erling Haaland, let's be real. And unfortunately, it doesn't stop there, as we are going to see Rafael Varane goes to Napoli for £32 million. Julian Alvarez to Bayern Munich for £71 million. We have lost 3 brilliant players, and 2 being Man City, 1 being Manchester United. Varane, obviously 33 years of age right now, slightly on a decline, so probably the least worrying one to lose. Julian Alvarez, player for the future, 26 years of age, a player who's very versatile, can play anywhere across that front 4, so quite a big loss, especially over the season. And we don't even need to talk about how much of a loss Haaland is. I mean, he's scored 60-plus goals every season. Second to that is going to be coming at around 15, so the goal scoring side is going to be worrying. And as you can see, it was a mixture of emotions this season. I'm going to be honest, it was a mixture. We actually come 4th in the Premier League. 4th in the Premier League, but we have won the Champions League. How do I even explain this? We have bottled everything in England. We have not won the Premier League. We've lost the Community Shield. We've lost the Carabao Cup in the final. It could have been an absolute stinker of a season, but luckily the Champions League gave us a little bit of something to clench onto. And do you know what? The goals scored have gone down drastically. 68 goals across the season. The team we have, even to date, should not be 6th best in the league for scoring goals. An absolute disappointment, and it's just an utter shambles. Going into the squad, yeah, it's going to be ugly. I mean, to be fair to him, Marcus Rashford picks up a little bit of the slack. 30 goals for Marcus Rashford with 6 assists. 22 for Kevin De Bruyne, 18 for Foden. Garnacho getting in the team now with 12. 12 for Silva, 10 for Martial, Casemiro with 7. And also 6 for Rodri. The assists, we've got 20 for Silva, 20 for Kevin De Bruyne, 18 for Foden, 6 for Marcus Rashford, 6 for Casemiro, and 5 for Eriksen. So to be fair, Manchester United lads are finally getting a chance now that Erling Haaland has gone. So I'm quite excited to see it. I'm quite excited to be here for this and see where this can take us, because at the end of the day, it wasn't the best season. We did win the Champions League against Real Madrid, and the team is going to look like Ederson, Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz, Dalot, Rodri, De Bruyne, Casemiro, Rashford, Foden as a striker, and Bernardo Silva on the right-hand side. And it's only right we watch the game. Just seen, by the way, Real Madrid have Declan Rice playing at centre-back. I'm very interested, because they actually have got some good... What is this angle? Not a big fan of that. Oh, dearie me. Thibaut Courtois, absolutely shocking. Rodrigo obviously does get the first goal. And it's just going to be another error. That's Garnacho picks it up in a very weird sort of area. He just, oh my, stop him. Stop him. Garnacho, absolute baller. Great to see him obviously performing at such a high level in the Champions League final. As Phil Foden goes down the right-hand side right now to tuck this game away. Could be free. Casemiro. Courtois had a stinker of a game. Absolute stinker of a game. But overall, at least we won one trophy. That's the main focus. Obviously, we lost right at the start, the Community Shield against Chelsea. Not nice to get to at all. Or to feel that sort of losing defeat is never nice. The Carabao Cup against Arsenal, we lost it. A very close game, to be real with you. A very interesting team. Dean Henderson starts in goal. Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz, Dalot, Casemiro, De Bruyne, Silva, Rashford, Garnacho up front with Phil Foden against a very decent-looking Arsenal team as well. So, quite a deserved loss. It was a weak team we put out, to be honest, but you're seeing here a lot of the results, and there's a lot of green coming in. So I feel like we actually just got a little bit unlucky. I don't want to pull that card, but I feel a little bit unlucky. The Premier League, not so much maybe. I mean, it's quite a dominant season from Arsenal. What's their team looking like now? On paper, yeah. 4-3-3, Turner, White, Salabia, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Garte, Odegaard, Dominguez, great player from previous of Bologna, Smith Rowe, Saka, and Martinelli. Decent bench as well. Quite a tough season and overall, but at least we won the Champions League again. And we've got one more season. End this on a high. And speaking of ending on a high, you can end no, hang on, that sounds really bad. You can end my day on a high by leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. But let's go ahead and get into Season 5. Season 5 then, and there's not as much drama. Not as much drama. A little bit of drama, not loads though. Diego Dalot does go to Real Madrid for £58 million. So I'm not too gutted about that at all, because that is a hefty transfer fee for Diego Dalot. And do you know what? He is quite good. Obviously, he's put in a shift. He has put in a shift. We can't complain. But that price tag, they can have him, because that is an obscene amount of money for Diego Dalot. And to be fair, we also have got some good defensive options with him gone as well. And to finish off this last season, let's see how we done. So, the last season, as you can probably tell, we are going to go back to the league table. It's very annoying that keeps resetting. We won the Premier League. Thank you, God, we won the Premier League. We also won the Super Cup against Newcastle. We're going to hide from the Champions League because I'm not happy about that against Porto. Runners up again in the Carabao Cup. At this point, just title us the bottle jobs of the Carabao Cup. A poor display in the FA Cup as we lose to Burnley. We're not going to look at that one either, as that is absolutely shocking. But overall, I'm quite impressed with how this season has gone. Just winning the Premier League against the main focus. The squad, as you can see, 41 goals coming in from Phil Foden. Marcus Rashford with 15, 12 for Bernardo Silva. De Bruyne with 12, Garnacho with 11, 9 for Sancho, 9 for Anthony, who's firstly now got a look in. 21 for KDB in terms of assists, 17 assists for Silva, 11 for Rashford, 10 for Garnacho, Cancelo with 8, and 6 for Rodri. In terms of the schedule, obviously we're going to see no Champions League final, the Carabao Cup final in extra time. Against Newcastle as well, man. Come on, we had to be beaten then. Going to be Henderson in goal. Why is Henderson playing all this time? Malacia, Ake, Lindelof, Stones, Rodri, De Bruyne, Silva, Garnacho, Foden, and Anthony. It's not even a bad team. Arsenal, fair play to them. Finally, they've got their trophy. Fair play to them. A little bit annoying, but it is what it is at the end of the day. One thing I want to look at very quickly. We'll go into tactics right now. We'll filter by the best 11. Here we are. What I want to see is, where is David De Gea? He must have retired early. His contract wouldn't have expired. His contract would definitely retired from playing. My webcam might block it up, but I am going to read it. In the 2026 season, so last season, he retired after winning the Champions League at the age of 36. Not impressed with David for that one. Overall, you know, I've had a ton of fun doing this. I miss doing these videos, guys, you know. Tactics are great, but I like throwing in a rebuild and experiment. And please do leave a comment right now. It helped me out so much. Can you please comment what experiment you want to see next? Do you want to see London combined? Do you want to see some teams in Germany combined? Possibly combining Leipzig and a Union Berlin? Can we take over Bayern Munich? Can you leave just leave some ideas you want to see? Because I honestly have so much fun doing these types of videos, because it's fun to see what just happens at the end of 5 years. And we've seen a team which has been dominated by Manchester City for quite some time. And now we're looking at the team, you know, we've got the likes of, you know, Edison, Cancelo, Diaz, Laporte. Okay, this is a Man City team still. Casemiro, obviously Rashford, but we are seeing Henderson play. Obviously Garnacho gets a look in, who has developed okay, not incredibly, but that is going to be the end of 5 seasons. In my opinion, quite a decent run, picked up some trophies along the way. And if you have enjoyed today's video, please do smash the like button down below. It helps the video get found. It helps me out massively. And please subscribe and turn on notifications. We're trying to hit 10k before Christmas, whatever you want to say. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. And I will see you in the next one.